Hey everybody, this is Anthony from Into the Darkroom, and this video is going to show you some things you could do with the design panel in your Echo template. And the reason I'm showing you this is because Echo, at a first glance, seems really simple. It's a lot of times when we set up our sites, we set them up to be really simple, clean, and modern, but there are a lot of great hidden options in the design tab, and I want to show you some of them so you can see what you can do with this template. So I'm going to show you another template that we created, and this template is the same template with different colors, different backgrounds, and so on. So these are some of the options that are in there. You'll see that you have borders and drop shadows and things like that. So I'm going to go through the design tab. I'm going to go into the back end right now. I'm currently in the design tab, which is right here. Click on that and you're going to get this design tab here. And the first thing I'm going to do is start with the settings tab. So with the settings tab, you're going to see that you have the image caption background color, and that's going to be this right here. So you have the option to add image captions on any image. That's great for SEO, and so we offer you a background for the text to lay on, and the image caption foreground color is this text right here. So it's the text in the background so that you can see what is being written over the image. So now if you go to the next option, it's the image caption opacity. So if you find that you have a lot of images that your color isn't working well with, you can turn that opacity up so you can read the text a little bit better. So it's that background opacity that you can monitor there. The album aspect ratio is the aspect ratio of this image. We currently set our default to 16:9, and the reason we do that is because browsers are wide and 16:9 seems to fit in there really well. We have other videos on images, so I'm not going to touch too much about that. The album arrow colors are these right here. The album control foreground colors are these, and then the album control highlight colors is this white when you roll over these. So you can control that all right here. You have the thumbnail background color, which is the background behind these, and I'm just going to go ahead, just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and change this so you can see what it's like. You can either pick a color from the color picker, click save, and I'm going to refresh this. And you'll see that just changes that color back there. Not a very pretty color that I picked. Or you can go ahead and get the hex code from Photoshop, paste it in there so you have exact colors, and then when you paste it in there and you click save and you refresh, your color appears there. So always remember when you're changing something here to come down here and click the save button. You also have the thumbnail arrow colors, which are these right here. So if you want to change those, you can. And then you have the thumbnail height and width, and I think that's self-explanatory. And then you have all this stuff from here down is about the contact form, and we cover that in another video, so I'm going to skip that right now. But that's going to change all the colors in the form on the contact form. So the next thing I want to do is I want to cover the logo, and I'm going to click here on the logo tab. And when we're talking about the logo, it's right here in this navigation area, and you have a lot of different options. The first thing you can do is you can upload a font, and we have another video on how to upload fonts and how to prepare your fonts, so I'm not going to cover that, but you can just click the upload new and you can upload your own font. If you don't upload a font, you can use this logo font fallback. So we just have a generic serif or sans serif font, so if you want to type out your logo, type out a name of your studio, you can do that. And you would do that right here. So right now I have it saying Echo, but if I wanted it to say Echo, I can go ahead and do that, click save, and then you'll see when I refresh this, it'll appear right there on the left. So if you want to just type it out, you just pick from the drop down here, the sans serif or serif, you change this text right here, and then you can go ahead and click save and it'll change it right here. You also have a third option, and that is to upload a logo. So if you have a JPEG or a transparent ping or something like that, you can go ahead and do that, and you would do that in this section right here. So site logo, minimum of 40 pixels, and you click open library, you click upload new, and then you would pick your JPEG or your logo file, and you would drop it right in there, and you would be able to have your custom logo put in there. And then you have logo text color, so if you are typing it in, you can change the color. You have the logo margin and the logo text size. So if you want to type in your logo, you have these options as well, so that you can change what the logo looks like if you're typing it in. Then you have the logo link. So if you want to link to a page you created, if somebody's going to click on this, you might want it to go to your home page. So you'd click on here and you'd pick whatever page you want. If you wanted it for some reason to click somewhere else, you can always type in the HTTP address here, and then you could decide if it opens in the same window or a new window. And then you have the logo position, so you can have it left, centered, or right. So we just covered settings and logo. I'm going to actually now go to the body. And in the body, the first thing I want to show you is the maximum width. So this is the maximum width that the site will display. And so you can change this right here. We have it set to 1500 pixels in this demo. You can change that just by sliding this bar back and forth. You have the padding tightness. Now the padding tightness is something that is going to control this negative space around here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this really quick. I'm going to show you the padding tightness right now set to the maximum 50. I'm going to drop it down to like 0, and I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to refresh this, and you're going to see all of this in here tighten up. So all that negative space goes away, and if you need more of it, you can just go ahead and drag this around. I dragged it to 50, and we're going to watch to see how this actually moves everything in this direction and gives everything a little bit more space around everything. So it gives you kind of that negative space margin that you might be looking for. We have the background, the border width, and that border is this color right here. And so that's this color. You have the background color, which is going to be this space over here. And then you have the background overlay tint. So that is going to affect, I'm going to show you, I'm going to click to a different page, I'm going to go here, and there's this little tint if you need to kind of differentiate something. So I'm going to pick like an obvious color like blue, click save and refresh this, and you're going to see how it'll tint this color right here. So you may need to be able to differentiate some certain areas, and that's going to go ahead and do that for you. I'll go ahead and change this back. And then we have where you could make the body background transparent. So I'm going to go back to our info page here, and I'm going to turn the background transparent. And what that's going to do is that's going to change all of this over here. It's going to get rid of that color. And you're going to see the background come through. So right now our background is set to white, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change that in a moment. We have the body shadow width, which is this shadow right here, and we have the body shadow opacity, which is the opacity of this shadow. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to jump over to the background, and I'm going to go ahead and open my library, and I already have a background picked out that I'm going to stick in here. I've already uploaded this one, and I have it so that it tiles, and when I click save, you're going to see that it's all right there. So I had the body set to be transparent so you couldn't see it, so I'm going to go back to the body, and I'm going to make this false and click save. And let's just say we wanted to turn off all these shadows. We could do that too. So we'll turn off all these body shadows, click save, refresh it, and it gives us a totally different look. And then let's say we wanted to go to the background and we didn't want a background in there. We can go ahead and clear this selection, and you'll notice that we have a color. We have a background top and a background bottom. Now these will blend into each other. So if I were to pick two colors, it's going to blend this green into this white, and if I click refresh, you'll see that it's blending the green and the white there. But if I wanted it to be a solid color, I just blend the same color into itself. I click save, and then you have all of that blending into each other, and it starts to you got rid of all the shadows, and everything's starting to look really simple and flat. So now let's go ahead and skip over the fonts because we covered that in another video, and let's go to the sidebar. So I'm going to go to the sidebar, and the sidebar width is this width right here. The sidebar padding tightness is the same thing as before. It's this negative space. You can play with that. And then you have the border width. And what I'm going to do right now to show you a little bit better, we have the border color, which is this, and the border width. We have the background color, so it's the background in here. So I'm going to change that so you can see the border a little bit better. I'm just going to pick a color and click Save. And I'm going to refresh this. And you'll see that we have the border color and the border width, so we can change that right here. And then this is that background color. And then we have that background overlay tint. So if you needed there to be some sort of tint on something to differentiate, you can. I'm going to turn this to white. Click Save, and I'm going to show you that tint. So you see that it's normally white, but it gives me a tint, and when you click on sub navigation, it tints it a little bit more, so it gives you that extra layer of visual cues. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these back. And click Save, and then you could decide if you would rather this be transparent, so you can do that as well. And then you have your body shadow width and opacity, so that's this right here. I'm going to go ahead and turn those down. And I'm going to click Save and refresh it. And so you have all of that turned off right now. So you can go from a lot more complicated to a lot more simple. So again, this is your sidebar tab. It covers this. Fonts we cover in a different video. The background, very simple. You can either upload or you can change your colors, your top and your bottoms. You can tile a pattern that you put in there. You even have a couple options in here like fill frame, so if you want to put a big image back there, you can. You have all the body information, which covers all this area over here, all your colors, your border width, so on. You can upload logos, or you can just type in your logo. You can upload a font, so you have 3 options in here on how you want to handle your logo. And then you have your general settings, so these are all your basic colors for things like captions and so on. So I hope that was informative. I hope it gives you an idea of things that you can do with your template, and I appreciate you listening. Thanks so much.